from Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
It was a quiet, subdued, and low-key final homecoming of President Benigno Aquino III to his alma mater. Ateneo de Manila University President Father Roberto Yap received the Aquino family. The planned foyer or arrival honors by the Armed Forces of the Philippines for the former Commander-in-Chief was dispensed with. The family wanted to make the commemoration as simple as possible, in keeping with how Aquino lived. The honor guards carried the urn and the Philippine flag and solemnly brought them into the church for a prayer service.
Pinoy was certainly a person for others, a leader for others, a person for others, a president for others, imbued with competence, conscience, commitment, and compassion.
Aquino's remains were brought to the Ateneo exactly 5 years after he delivered a speech for the graduating class of 2016. It was to be the last public address of his presidency. Aquino was a true blue Atenean, having completed elementary, high school, and college in the Loyola campus with a degree in AB Economics. Among the visitors were Senator Franklin Drilon, Senator Francis Pangilinan, former Senator Antonio Trillanes, and his former cabinet officials. Visiting among officials of the current administration were Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, AFP Chief of Staff General Cirilito Sobejana, MMDA Chair Benher Abalos, and COVID testing SAR Vince Tizon. President Duterte declared a 10-day period of national mourning until July 3, where flags in all government offices will be flown at half-mast. Senator Bongo says Duterte has called Aquino's eldest sister, Bolsie Aquino Cruz, to convey his condolences, saying he is grateful to their mother, former President Corazon Aquino, for handing him his first break in public service. Go also claims Duterte and Aquino were friends up to until Aquino became president.
Hindi po ito ang panahon ng pagsisiraan, hindi po ito ang panahon ng pagbabatikusan. Ito po ang panahon ng pag-aalala sa mga magagandang nagawa ng dating Pangulong Aquino. So sa mga kababayan ko, magtulungan na lang po tayo.
The Duterte government has also offered honors for the late president.
Offer to grateful nations to former president.
Vice President Leni Robredo also came.
Siguro yung mas bigger than the personal loss is yung loss sa bansa natin. Alam natin kung gaano kagrabing sakripisyo yung ginawa niya for the country. Pinakita niya yung klase ng leadership na kinakailangan ng ating bansa. And yung pagkawala niya parang end of an era na yung challenge is upon every one of us to continue what he fought for.
Newly installed Manila Archbishop Jose Cardinal Advincula and Papal Nuncio Charles Brown led a prayer for the late president, and singer Jaya sang his favorite song.
Matapos ang luhang ipinagpalit, ang sandali di naman magtatagal.
Konting-konti po sa inyo ang may alam kung ano talagang pinagdaanan niya. So ito yung ating way para ma-comfort ang mga sarili natin because ngayon hindi na nga siya makakaranas pa ng sakit, hindi na siya mahihirapan pa, and nandun na nga siya sa mas maligayang lugar.
Philippine shares were up on Friday following the Philippine Central Bank's pause on policy adjustments as expected, with key interest rates still at a record low of 2%. For the day, the PSE index gained nearly 1% to inch closer to the 7,000 level while notching a 1.4% weekly gain. Sun Life Philippines' Christina Gabaldon is constructive on Philippine equities.
We are still positive on equities. We think the earnings yield to bond yield is still attractive at over 260 basis points. But of course, we have to be cognizant of the type of stocks we buy. So there's a tendency to go into stocks with value and stocks that can pass on inflation to their customers. So it has to have good brand equity. To balance that out with stocks that you think would outperform given the reopening of the economy. So you have to put in some cyclicals there.
In corporate stories, Asia United Bank expects net income to return to pre-pandemic levels of 4 billion pesos this year. That's around 30% higher than 2020's performance. The banking arm of the Robisco Group cites the ramp-up in vaccine rollout, improving consumer confidence, leading to increased economic activity. That will, in turn, boost commercial and consumer lending. Meanwhile, Energy Development Corporation raises 5 billion pesos from its ASEAN green bonds, which were listed at the PDEX on Friday. This is the first tranche out of its 15 billion peso ASEAN Green Bonds shelf registration. The issuance said to be 10 times oversubscribed. EDC and the ABS-CBN News Channel are part of the Lopez Group of companies.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have our very interesting and very popular lawyer, Filipino-American lawyer here in Chicago. Her name is Attorney Janice Dantes, and she really needs no more introduction. She's really very popular. Hi, Janice. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Veronica. You look wonderful today.
Oh, thank you. So do you. But Janice, I invited you here today for the latest update for our Filipino-American lawyers here in Chicago. I know you're going to make an important announcement for the recent developments and also other information about your legal business. Hi, okay. First is the Pala Chicago, which is a very good background logo showing in your office there.
Oh, well, thank you, Veronica. Pala Chicago is the Filipino-American Lawyers Association of Chicago. We are part of a national Filipino-American Lawyers Association. And part of our national initiative is to recognize that many of our kababayan are healthcare workers on the front lines of the pandemic. Many of them are vulnerable to getting sick, have gotten sick, many have died, and many did not have any documents, no powers of attorney, no wills, no trusts. And so we wanted to do a service to many of our healthcare workers and other essential workers, focusing on the Filipinos who are the frontline workers in this pandemic, to encourage them and provide them with at least the basic estate planning, which is powers of attorney for healthcare and powers of attorney for property. So this is a free service that we're providing monthly with our partner, the Instituto del Progreso Latino. It's at 26 and Western, and we are doing this every third Saturday of the month.
All right. Janice, you're a past president of this organization, right?
That's correct. I was president last year during the pandemic, and while we could not do a lot of things in person, this is what we were working on to help our kababayan.
How big is your membership?
Well, we have about 150 lawyers here in Chicago who are active members, but we're also part of a national organization with thousands of lawyers throughout the country, from California to Florida to New York City. So if any of our kababayan or Filipino community lawyers elsewhere, we can connect them to a lawyer in anywhere in the country where we can find our membership. So we're very fortunate to have that, and we are proud that we were able to organize a national community to help serve our Filipinos who could be living here in Chicago or elsewhere.
Oh, the national organization. What is the name of the national organization?
We call it NFAWA, which is the National Filipino American Lawyers Association, and FAWA Chicago is a chapter here in the Midwest. We are operating a legal clinic that is the only legal clinic in the Midwest serving Filipinos. So this is something that we're very proud of, and we hope to encourage now that things are starting to open up, and hopefully we can meet more clients in person to provide valuable services, not only in estate planning, but where they might need some help.
Oh, that must be a very huge organization. How many members do you have with this national
In the national level, there's thousands. There's thousands of members, and yesterday we actually celebrated our Pride Day event to recognize our kababayan who are of the LGBTQ community. So, and there are many.
So, oh my God. So we really have a large number of Filipino American lawyers all over. That's nice to know.
It is good to know, and we're trying to organize a database so that if I get a call for a kababayan in Michigan, we're able to refer them to a Michigan attorney, or if you have an accident in California, that we can connect you to an attorney there. So it is a great organization. We do a lot of things for the community, including advocacy and advancing our own community and our needs. So if there's anything that we can lend at the national level, we're happy to do so.
Oh, Janice, you're a very young Filipino American lawyer serving our community, and I know you will be going places. Can you please describe to our audience about your legal business here in Chicago, which is really getting to be successful and prolific?
Yes, absolutely. I run my own practice here in Chicago. My law firm is the law office of Janice Dantas. It's also Pinay Law LLC, in which you can find me at www.pinaylaw.com. And our focus has been on family law and family issues. When I first started my law practice, people asked me, Janice, why don't you do an immigration practice? I said, there's already so many lawyers in our community doing immigration. That's not the only needs in our community. And so I decided to focus on family issues, and that includes divorce, child support, alimony, custody issues, and things that stem from that. So that could mean buying and selling a house, or estate planning, and also personal injury. So there are many events that happen in our lives. Just because many of us are immigrants coming from the Philippines doesn't mean that we don't have other needs when we come here. So that is where my practice focuses on. And we have many clients that come, not just Filipinos, but all all walks of life. But we're here to provide a service to our kababayan, and that there is a Filipino attorney here in Chicago, a woman who's willing to help uh, fight the machine. So fight the big fights. So I'm not afraid to litigate. I have trial experience. And so you just know that you don't have to, you can find someone within the community that can advocate for you.
Great, terrific. Also, as a young working mother, how can you describe your life, Janice?
Well, I'm not only a lawyer, I am a parent and a wife, and I take that job just as seriously. So my kids, I have three boys, Leo and Mason, and they're my inspiration for why I do this. Even though I am a divorce lawyer, I view divorce as a last resort. This is not something that you should make a quick decision on. And even with marriage, it's probably the most important choice in your life is who you decide to be your life partner. And so, as a mother with children, I know how hard that is. But what I do want to do is provide a choice. Not every family um, is happy, and not every perfect family has to be a married couple. There are many couples and many families that work well with step parents and step children, and they're able to make it work. And it's a healthy, loving environment, and that's what we want to do. That's my goal, is to find other ways that you can have a family, and that it should be accepted in our community. That it's okay. Things don't work out, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay in a toxic relationship.
You are an inspiration to many working women out there. Janice, what advice can you give to these women who would like to have um, a successful family life and also a successful business out there?
Um, well, first, I would just like to tell women that it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And I think as a woman who sees many people go through divorce, it's important to protect yourself. Um, we might find it easier, or we might think that it's better if we stay home and manage the home, which is a choice, and I respect that choice. But um, just remember that whether your husband or partner, in the event that the marriage does not work or they pass away, you have to find a way to make sure that you and your children are taken care of. And so I do encourage women to get an education here. It's an opportunity that we have here in the U.S. that is much, much more difficult in the Philippines, and that we take advantage of these opportunities. When I was 18 years old, I went to the Philippines with my aunt, who is a professor in Canada studying sex trafficking in the Philippines. And I saw women my age and younger in the bars of Angeles City, um, dancing, and who knows what else what other services they're providing to tourists and these much older Australian and Korean and other foreign men. And I told myself that I owe it to these women who don't have a choice, that this was their choice and their lot in life, that I owe it to take advantage of the opportunities I have here in the United States, because any of them would have traded positions with me.
Wow, that's something else at a young age. Well, Janice, congratulations for what you have been doing and for serving our community and for being a role model for many women out there. Um, how about your contact information for our viewing audience?
Yes, you can find me online. If you Google Filipino divorce attorney Chicago, I will come up. And also, my website is www.pinaylaw.com. And you can reach me by phone 312-546-5077 anytime, 24/7. And last, you can always email me at janice@pinaylaw.com. Thank you.
Great. Maraming salamat, Janice.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you for the opportunity.
I think you were raised right by your parents for knowing how to speak Tagalog.
I
Okay.
have to thank all of my clients for the many years of correcting me kindly as I started this practice. So they've all contributed.
Terrific. Maraming salamat.
Maraming
And thank you for gracing our show today. And have nice, wonderful weekend. And also more success and congratulations to what you're doing. And bye, Janice.
Bye, Veronica. Good seeing you as usual.
Okay, bye.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of this show. Today, I have a very interesting, young, good-looking Filipino, and he will be talking to us about cancer. It's a cancer, some kind of a cancer care organization, and he is from Virginia. Where are you from? Virginia, right?
Virginia.
And his name is Edward Logan. And let's hear from this young lad who will be telling us about this great organization that's helping a lot of people. And help me welcome Edward Logan from Virginia. Hi, Edward.
How are you, Mom Veronica? It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be on your show and to tell more about this exciting new organization. It's called the Filipino American Cancer Care.
Yes, tell us about this Filipino American Cancer Care, FACC.
Yes, FACC. I was, as I mentioned, I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with leukemia. It's called acute lymphoblastic leukemia last 2015. I felt like it's forever, but it was 6 years ago, last October. I had a very difficult journey of having a cancer. I had like blood clot on my brain, comatose for 2 months. I have to learn how to walk, talk, and regain all my senses, including my eyes as well. So Filipino journalist interviewed me about my cancer journey. Her name is Josie Morelidad Zyman, and she's a White House correspondent here in Washington, D.C. And she said, Edward, I want to tell your story in the Manila Mail and on the radio station. So I said, sure. I know it's gonna, hopefully it will inspire other people to be more boldly tell their cancer, story, especially the Filipino American community, because I'm originally from the Philippines. My biological parents are from the Philippines. My biological mom from Bicol. That's why I have my morena color.
Beautiful skin.
my, my father from Pangasinan, but it's Iloilo is the grandfather side. But I was adopted by a Christian couple, a retired minister in Arizona. So I moved when I was 15 in Arizona. So, trying to establish my new life in Arizona. It's just amazing how this cancer journey was an important milestone. So the journalist Josie became my friend, and after she interviewed in 2017, she was diagnosed her own cancer, breast cancer, hers. So she said, Edward, is it possible to speak to my celebration of life? So I said, sure, I would like to, tell my story to the public at that time, because my wife, she's a Korean, but she's born here as well in America. But it was hard for me to find a match, trying to plea churches by churches, community by community. it was hard. I didn't know that there's a lack of diversity in the donor registry. So that's why I felt like I have to do something with the cancer community. And Josie said, Edward, I think this is a good opportunity. So in 2020, despite of the COVID-19, we said, let's take the challenge. And we know that cancer does not stop due to COVID-19. So in February of 2020, we started baking Filipino cookies with calamansi flavor, help all these health workers in 6 major hospitals here in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And we met a lot of Filipino and Filipina in the healthcare, the frontliners. So we felt like that is one of our appreciation of being having a second chance in life. So, and to include other healthcare workers, we did is we reach out to other Filipino communities outside the DMV. Actually, in Chicago, we help 2 organizations. It's Home Plus Care, and a fire. We gave them mask and DIY extenders because we felt like they work so hard, long hours. So their mask is already extending on their ears, so they need something. So we provided them. So overall, we produced almost 2,000 DIY masks with 3,000 cookies, pandesal, and of course, we felt so burdened in the Philippines as well. So what we did is we also distributed to at least 6 cities that affected by cancer community and the COVID-19. And that's what the start of our partnership with St. Anthony Hospital in Capiz, Rojas City. So.
Well, amazing story. You have to experience the illness, and it has awakened something in you to help other people because you experience it. And I salute you and your partners for starting an organization like FACC.
Yes.
And amid the COVID pandemic at the time too, I mean, that was a scary time.
Yes.
Congratulations.
It's amazing. We actually we have non-stop since we founded. So COVID-19 did not stop us. Last year, we raised, which is the most difficult part is to raise funds. But by God's grace, we raised $26,000 by doing virtual caroling, virtual bingo, virtual concerts. And we did actually did some contests for Filipino parole contests. So there's 15 states who submitted beautiful parole during Christmas season. And we also helped 3 cancer patients here in the US last year, and then 50 cancer kids in the Philippines last December.
Oh, in such a short period of time, how were you able to do that?
We're just been blessed with our donors and supporters because they're the one who really provided this means, because we felt like, oh, how can we really, provide financial assistance? And you know what, Veronica is just blessed. I'm so blessed to have this Filipino support because they're the one who really actually told the story of the Filipino American cancer care. And we also launched the first ever radio show dedicated for cancer community. So it's just amazing. We launched last September. It's called On the Air with FACC. The studio is in Las Vegas, but because of the COVID-19, we have to use Zoom as well, use the technology. But because of that, we actually reach out more people around the globe because Filipinos are all over the world. So they heard the stories of the a parent, a first time sharing his being a dad, his only daughter have a cancer, a mother who lost her only son with cancer. It's just amazing, the childhood advocacy. And at that time, we included as well our advocacy to make sure that the light, the orange for awareness, the childhood cancer awareness in the White House. It took 30 to 40 years to acknowledge that children is so important asset of any country, especially here in the US. So there's some more things to do in terms of research, funding, and of course, leukemia is dear to my heart. And we partner with Be the Match. Be the Match is the major organization who supports us to do our campaign. So one example, we did it last year as well during the COVID-19. A 18-year-old Phil Am, he was a senior track star here in Maryland, but he also received a cancer diagnosis of leukemia. On the first round, where the community helped and found a match. However, the transplant did not work, so he passed away this year. And it's just it's a roller coaster when you do a cancer organization. And we're so blessed because the Filipino American Cancer Care, we now have 8 medical advisory board. There are Filipinos and Filipino Americans. They're top notch in their field. Some of them are Dr. Reyes. She's a cancer specialist in MD Anderson. Dr. Elwin Kabebe in Stanford. And we have another doctor here in the East Coast, Dr. Deason. They don't know each other. But because this Filipino American Cancer now has been formed, they're now able to network and really pioneering and telling their research of cancer specialization. And hopefully we can bring them to the Philippines to share the best practices and treatment for cancer. And that's why we're so excited to tell our June 18 coming event, because our Miss Universe Philippines, Miss Rabea Mateo, is coming here in DC to support this important advocacy. And because it's her hometown in Iloilo, the kids that we've been helping since last year, they're so blessed that Miss Rabea was able to accept our invitation.
Very nice indeed. And Edward, are you doing this full time?
No, actually, I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm a very type A person, but God gave me opportunity to really just give back to the cancer community, and helps me to connect again to the Filipino American community. And that's why I'm just so blessed to have this opportunity.
Bless your heart. You are such a blessed individual, and God will really help you with these good deeds that you're doing. Edward, well, about that Miss Rabia Mateo event, when will that be held?
This will be this coming Saturday, June 18 at 6:30 in Fairfax, Virginia. We will have almost 200 attendees. We're trying to follow CDC, but because of the restriction being lifted, vaccination, but still we're gonna check temperature. But we are so blessed that the Filipino and Filipino American communities are so eager to support as well Ms. Rabea Mateo as a pride of the Filipino, and of course the Phil-Am here in the US. And not only that, because the benefactor are the cancer kids, and that's why they're really supporting this important event.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And okay, what else is coming up that you want to
besides June 18, we will also have a June 19 event. So it's back to back. As I mentioned to you, we are nonstop. June 19, we will have a Zumba and summer concert that will be benefiting now 3 cancer patients here in the United States. So the first 2 beneficiaries that we're gonna have is a grandfather who needing a live donor transplant for his liver. So he's been diagnosed last October, and he found our FAC organization through Facebook when we're doing our virtual bingo, where Jokoy's mom, Josie Harrison, is one of our board member, and she was the host of our bingo. So it's amazing how social media helps us. And another cancer patient that we're gonna help is Jennifer Luna. She's a mother of three, and she's being diagnosed this February of breast cancer. And lastly, but not the least, this is really breaks my heart. A young lady in Arizona. She's only 26 years old, and she was here in J1 visa last year. She's a teacher in Yuma, Arizona, but suddenly she was diagnosed with colon cancer last September, and it's already stage 4, so it's spread to her leg, and she's been her leg, one of her leg was cut off. So imagine that she's the only breadwinner in the family in the Philippines, trying to survive here in America alone. And that's why we said we have to do something. So by God's grace and by her trust, she allowed our organization as well to raise funds for her. She's been treated in Mayo Clinic, one of the best cancer hospital in the country as well. So, and now she is a survivor. So she is now in remission. But you know how it is, Veronica, even though you've been treated in the best medical hospital, after that, is really the financial toxicity, and she has no job right now. So therefore our Filipino community supports her, the teachers there. It's just, you know, this resiliency of herself, but at the same time the kindness of our Filipino culture really helps her become strong, and really her family is really cheering her to really get that position where she can go back to work in the future, but not immediately.
So nice to hear. Okay, Edward, how many members do you have in your organization?
So far, we have total of almost 45 both officers, board of directors, and advisors. We have from different states. It's not just the DC, Virginia, Maryland. We have in Texas. We have in Florida, California. So our goal, as I want to share with your viewers, we really, our mission is four prong. We call it CARE. That's what we call it, Filipino American Cancer Care. CARE is we want to collaborate with other organizations. We advocate for our better treatment, research for better results of new medicine. And E is really education. We want to educate our community to do early prevention, screening, mammogram, colonoscopy, because now the US, the federal guidelines, they now lower the screening. Instead 50, it's now 45, because more and more we found out younger getting cancer.
Wow, terrific. And how many members are really actively running the organization?
So for the core group, we have at least 20 core group.
Okay, and you are really spreading fast.
Yes, it is.
Right? Even to the Philippines. Yes. All right, I salute you and your co-founders for this amazing job that you are doing. And don't hesitate to give us a call later on, anytime, to help you out to spread the word.
Oh, thank you, Ma'am Veronica. Again, it's my honor to have the opportunity to share what's the Filipino American Cancer Care, and hopefully one of this future will be able to visit in Chicago and host one of the events for cancer advocacy. So
yes, for sure. There are so many humanitarian people here in Chicago. Just get in touch. Okay. Good luck to you and congratulations to these very, very humanitarian deeds that you are doing together with other Filipinos. These members and officers of the Filipino American Cancer Care, we really have to salute them. Most of all, today is Philippine Independence 123rd anniversary, right, Edward?
Yes, it's just amazing.
I wish you good luck in your upcoming event with Rabia Mateo, Miss Philippines. Wasn't she in the Miss Universe
Yeah,
contest?
she made it to the top 21, but that's at least an honor for our country in the Philippines, and of course, here in the US, seeing her made it to the top 20 out of the hundreds of beautiful women around the world. So that's an honor.
Very beautiful lady. I'm telling you, pride of the Filipinos and the Philippines. Thank you, Edward. Maraming salamat.
Yes.
At mabuhay tayong lahat.
Mabuhay po.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
That concludes our 9-day prayer for Joe. I'd like to thank everybody for participating today. And Veronica would like to say her final eulogy for Joe.
First thing, thank you so much, everyone, to everyone who has said good messages about Joe. I know you all love him. It's such a big loss. Excuse me. I'm still not well, but I prepared something that I know will make him laugh. He will chuckle when I hear what I wrote about him. My Irog, your Irog, and almost everyone's Irog. Irog Joe has not left us. He's here with us today in this gathering for the celebration of his life. I prepared direct statements from the heart as Irog Joe wants them delivered, short, concise, and direct to the point, because that is Joe. Joe is my rock. The wind beneath my wings, my support, and my #1 fan. Yet, on the other hand, he is also my hero, my funny guy, and inspiration in life. I will tell you, Joe as a husband, listen very well, because this is what he does to me. He serves me coffee when I wake up in the morning. He cooks my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and meriendas in between. He colors my hair in between visits with Robert, and he does it so well. He accompanies me and waits patiently for my manicure and pedicure appointments. He makes sure that the water temperature It's just right when I take a shower. He warms up the car seats for me during the cold days. He chooses some clothes and jewelry for me when we go shopping. He is a very good and conscientious grocery shopper. He washes the dishes and clothes, vacuums around the house. He's my chauffeur and my runner. And most of all, a romantic lover and husband. That's Joe as a husband. Joe as a humorist. He enjoys the company of smart and intelligent people who can understand his wit and humor. When at times I give him caution, as some people might not pick up his jokes, he would quip. Who cares? You can put Joe in any kind of situation, and most likely people like him. I always tease him that he can run as a mayor in our apartment building, as he is always on first name basis with many of them, with many maintenance guys. Even he knows the life stories of those people living in the building. He calls the maintenance people in the building as mga bata ko. Sure enough, his parking area in the winter time is always clean first by his maintenance friends. He's always a very likable fellow. Joe, as a creative writer and TV producer, he's a very good writer. He writes Via Times Monthly editorial and objectively harsh column. He is a very good Cprtv producer and interview host. He helps me in the business a lot. Joe on death. His favorite quote, die today, die tomorrow, same die. It's really funny. And remember, we are all in the waiting room now. Joe as a friend, he's a loyal, dedicated, thoughtful, generous, and dependable friend.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon. This is Bridget Carino Quetta bringing you this week's local news from our community. The U.S. Department of Labor announced the award of more than $130 million in grants to develop, modernize, and diversify registered apprenticeship programs in 15 states and to establish registered apprenticeship technical assistance centers for excellence in 3 states and Washington, D.C. to provide technical expertise and services and accelerate the expansion of registered apprenticeship programs. The department's Employment and Training Administration awarded more than $99 million in state apprenticeship expansion, equity, and innovation grants, ranging from $2 million to $10 million to bolster states' efforts to expand programming and inclusive recruitment strategies to attract a diverse workforce. The awards include more than $85 million for states that demonstrated a commitment to increase their diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. These grants also aim to develop partnerships with new industries and non-traditional occupations, including industry sectors hit hardest by the pandemic, and align registered apprenticeships with other work-based learning opportunities within state education and workforce systems. The Illinois Department of Transportation is reminding the public to be alert for text and email scams asking for personal information. Over the last several weeks, IDOT has been made aware of messages sent fraudulently on its behalf attempting to defraud the public. If you receive a text or email that appears to be from IDOT asking for your personal information, you can be sure it's a scam, said Illinois Transportation Secretary Omer Osman. Please know that we are aware of this issue and are working with the Illinois Attorney General's office to protect you from these fraudulent schemes. While the messages might look official, IDOT will never request personal information such as social security numbers or banking information via text or email. If you receive such a message, delete it. Do not provide any information or click the links. Doing so can install malware on your device or computer. Central Rizal, Washington, D.C. featured 4 Philippine short films in the much-anticipated EuroAsia Shorts, EAS, Film Festival held virtually via Vimeo On Demand on June 4th through the 18th in 2021. The theme for EuroAsia Shorts 2021 is Together in Dreams. Humanity is united by our need for social connection, to be and to stay together. And yet, amid a global pandemic, traditional togetherness has become a mere dream shared by millions around the world. Many of our aspirations, achievements, and great and small, a better world and connecting with people and places we love, have been put on hold, but still burn brightly in our hearts. This year's EuroAsia Shorts seeks to rekindle hope by exploring dual aspects of our lives that are now intertwined, our need for connection and our dreams for the future, reads a portion of the 2021 festival press release. Following a tornado in Naperville, Woodridge, and Darien, Illinois on Sunday night, Attorney General Kwame Raoul warned Illinois residents to be on alert for scammers looking to exploit homeowners and business owners who may need repairs from storm-related damage. Raoul cautioned residents that scammers often move quickly into communities to take advantage of people with damage to their homes or businesses. Raoul noted that these storm chasers use the opportunity to pressure people into making quick and often expensive decisions about cleanup and construction work. Raoul also warned residents that scam artists may be operating as public adjusters who offer free inspections to submit a claim to property owners' insurance companies. We have too often seen scammers take advantage of the devastation caused by tornadoes or other natural disasters and use it as an opportunity to line their own pockets, Raoul said. As residents begin assessing damage and making repairs, I encourage people to use the resources provided by my office, the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, and others to ensure they choose a trustworthy contractor. People should be wary of any individual who solicits home repair or insurance adjusting services door to door. Ambassador to the United States, Jose Manuel Romualdez, unveiled the National Historical Markers from the National Historical Commission of the Philippines of the official residence of the Philippine ambassador to the United States. The unveiling is of deep significance and great importance as it coincides with the 75th anniversary of the formal establishment of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the United States. It is clear that the relationship between our two countries will always be of manifest importance then and now. We have shared values, a shared history, and a long-standing friendship. Seeing how far the Philippines has come, insights can be drawn for forging ahead into the future. We will endure, we will not waver, and we will toil as those who came before us did, in fighting for democracy, for freedom, for prosperity, for social justice, said Ambassador Romualdez. The ambassador also shared that 63 years ago, Presidents Carlos Garcia and Dwight Eisenhower signed a joint communique embodying Philippine-American friendship and mutual goodwill at the Filipiniana Room, just a few steps from where we are today. American Red Cross volunteers with the Disaster Action Team are assisting people impacted by severe storms that affected Chicago's far southwest suburbs on Sunday, including Naperville and Woodridge, where a tornado touched down. Anyone impacted and in need of assistance may call the 24/7 disaster hotline at 1-877-597-0747. Right now, the Red Cross is experiencing a severe blood shortage as the number of trauma cases, organ transplants, and elective surgeries rise and deplete the nation's blood inventory. Donors of all blood types, especially type O and those giving platelets, are urged to make an appointment to give as soon as possible to prevent further impact to patients. As a thank you, those who come to give June 14th through the 30th will receive a $5 Amazon.com gift card via email, courtesy of Amazon. Restrictions apply. Additional information and details are available at redcrossblood.org/together. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time. So